Man, I'm in my gym slash man cave slash workshop, and months ago I decided to clean this damn thing out and just make it like an office. Man, you never know how much junk and crap you got. Bench presses, dip bars, curling bars, 1,000 pounds of weights. Oh my God. Anyway, this is gonna be a year project. It ain't gonna be no 2 or 3 day project. I'm tired as hell. But listen, I just wanna have a conversation real quick on something I heard. I listened to 2 of the top sports shows in the South, and I talked to a guy who was a huge Texas football fan. Well, Texas fan, period. University of Texas. And he was giving me some insight on some stuff happening in the SEC and college football because I'm just not paying attention at all. So he was basically telling me about the Texas Tech situation and some other possible rule changes and all this good stuff. And so the next day, I listened to one of the, like I said earlier, one of the top 2 sports shows in the South. And they were talking like positions, like who, in the SEC, who's going to be, I don't know how many teams in the SEC, but they was ranking them like from what how many other teams, 18, 19, 20, how many of them, down to number 1. Which at the time, I'm like, okay, if you got numbers, if you got stats on these guys, okay, I'm with you. Now, mind you, a lot of these guys done transferred, with other players and gonna play on other teams, and you don't know how that's gonna work. But listen, you got numbers, you got stats, I'm with you. All right. And I think the most difficult position was the offensive line, because unlike a quarterback or running back, if your left tackle didn't allow any sacks, those are good numbers out of so many plays. If the guy that was head up on you, you didn't allow those guys to get tackles on your running backs or your quarterbacks, those are good numbers. Oh, Jesus. God, excuse me, I'm sweating to death. But I think the offensive line was the most difficult to rank from top to bottom, from bottom to top. The easiest were the receivers and quarterbacks. Okay, I'm still with you. The next day, I listened to another sports show, which I've mentioned many, many, many times on my podcast. These jokers were ranking teams. They started out with the SEC, went to the Big 12, went to the Pac-12, went to the ACC, went to the Big 10. And this is what I call bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. You go back 15, 20 years. Hell, go back to the time when I played. These cats were recruited. They joined the team. And don't know if these numbers are correct, but 90 to 95%, unless you got an injury or something like that, you stay with that team, that class, stay with that team. If you had a class of 35 to 40 guys, when you graduate, you're going to still have that class of 35 to 40 guys. Period. That's why in 2012, 2015, 2016, you had the Alabamas, you had the Clemsons, but you had many of the SEC teams. That's why their classes, they wanted them to have at the least five stars. The rest could be 4 stars and 3 stars. And you got yourself a championship team. Go back and look at the Alabamas and the Clemsons and Ohio States. If you got more than five stars, you were destined to win a national championship. Period. But the key to that, those guys are going to be together at least 3 years. Now, the only downside of having those big time classes like that, they're only going to be there for 3 years. Fast forward to 2026, 2025, 2024. I don't know the numbers, and I'm not finna sit here and blurt out no bullcrap numbers. But I'm willing to say, in my opinion, when it comes to D1 football teams, especially these big-time football teams, I bet you they have 25% or maybe more turnover with transfers, whether they leaving or coming. And in my opinion, I don't care if Ohio State gets, just like they bought that team. I think they had a $35 million budget. They bought a national championship team. That's the only way, in my opinion, in this era, in this atmosphere of college football, that you pretty much guaranteed a national championship. Now, Indiana, they took the alternative route. They brought in a coach who was coach at I forget the name of the school. He brought 35, 40, maybe more of his players from that Division 1AA or whatever it was. James Madison, I think it was 1AA. He brought all those guys up there, and what's the key word? Maturation. They matured into that program. What did they do? They won a national championship. Y'all, this is just my opinion. I'm not into college football anymore. I pray to God to get some rules and regulations so I can be. But as of right now, in my opinion, those are only two ways you win the national championships these days. You bring in a bunch of guys that are mature, 23, 24-year-olds. A bunch of them. Let them mature into that program, into that process. And you got a chance. Or you do the Ohio State route. Everybody just got a $20 million budget these days, but if you go the Ohio State route, get the best of the best at every position, pay them a lot of money, boom, you got it. With that Ohio State team, and I'm gonna be honest with you, what pissed me off about that, they went out and got the best of the best, via recruiting, via transfers, but they got the one guy, in my opinion, that pretty much solidified the deal. The safety from Alabama. That hurt. That's one of the big reasons why I say, you know what, screw this shit. Screw this shit. I was done. Now, I'm not blaming that kid, not blaming his parents, because he came from a football family. But listen, with his skill, with any of these guys' skill, not just him, somebody offer you an amount of money to go play, I can't sit here and get mad at that. It pissed me off because he was with Bama, but you can't get mad at that. It's just the world we live in now. Unfortunately, I'm not living in that world. The hell with it. I'm not finna, my wife used to pick with me because when Bama played and they was playing Tennessee or Auburn or somebody, I would run in the walls, beat the walls, go outside screaming, fighting trees. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for the last at least 3, 4 years, I've been stress-free because I haven't give a damn. I kind of want to stay that way, but I do love college football. I did love it. Anyway, you gotta excuse me. I've said it earlier. I hate repeating myself, but I'm redoing this office or gym or workspace, whatever you want to call it. And my electricity is not hooked up, so it's dark. It's gonna be dark. It is what it is. Shit, I ain't gotta explain nothing. Hell. Anyway, just want to get a little Field3 info out. Don't let these people gaslight y'all. And listen, these people got to make money. They got to have content. But when it comes to any show, any person, any human being telling you the betting odds and what's going to happen this upcoming college football season, they full of shit. Because nobody knows. There's no maturation in college football anymore. These are, every year, these are new teams. New teams. Just keep that in mind. These are new teams. So nobody's going to say, oh, yeah, well, this team right here's got the better chance. How you know? These some bitches done been together probably a little bit of the spring, some of the summer. And you telling me that by that you can tell where they're going to be ranked in the football season? Or bet all your 401k money on this team, because I think they're going to be, running for the national championship. Shit, you got damn 12 to 16 teams already in the damn playoffs. So damn every team is a damn potential playoff team. Don't let these people gaslight y'all with this shit. It ain't nothing but a money-making scheme. Anyway, let me get up out of here. I appreciate you guys. I love you. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed. I'll see you next time.